Volkswagen sent me this 2018 Passat GT to review for you guys, and I've got 5 likes and 5 dislikes after spending a week with it coming up right now. Starting with the likes, in no particular order, my like number 1 is the warranty. So just like that Jetta that I saw last time, this has a 6-year, 72,000 mile bumper to bumper warranty. That's just fantastic. My like number 2, this car actually has a pretty aggressive S or sport mode. Plus you have the paddle shifters and the gear lever that you can shift back and forth, but when you put it in there, it really does a pretty good job of keeping its RPMs. For example, put it in S mode, throttle down, then when I let up, it holds those RPMs so you can mash on it again. And going with that last one, my like number 3 is the exhaust. It has a custom toned dual exhaust and it sounds pretty good. It sounds good when you start it up. It sounds good when it's idling. Pretty much no matter what RPM level you're at, you get a pretty nice sound out of that exhaust. My like number 4 is the value that Volkswagen gives you. Nowadays, if you want the Turbo 4, that's, the bigger Turbo 4 or V6, you're gonna spend over $30,000, but not with this Volkswagen. This one's listed at $29,995, which is right at $30,000, but of course you're gonna be able to get it for a little less, and just the fact that they even offer it on a trim that's not the highest, most loaded up trim. My like number 5 is the appearance of this GT. So it's supposed to be the sportier GT or the sportier Passat, right? And it looks the part. It's not just, a couple black pieces here and there. It's got a sport tuned suspension. Like I said, it's got the exhaust, the dual exhaust. It's got different black trim pieces around. It's got a black roof. It's got the red GTI inspired line in the front. And it actually sits 0.6 inches lower than the regular Passat. Now it's time for the dislikes, in no particular order once again. My dislike number 1 is that we don't get a manual transmission, and we also don't get the 8-speed transmission found in, for example, the Jetta that I was in last week. We just get the 6-speed Tiptronic automatic transmission. It is the DSG, direct shift gearbox, and it does a pretty good job, but it'd be nice to see, the more advanced transmissions that they offer now. My dislike number 2 is kind of the old school multifunction information display in between the gauges. It just looks very old and pixely. It just looks outdated. You can get a better looking display on the higher SEL trim, but we don't get it here and it just looks old. My dislike number 3 is miles per gallons, or the MPGs. So it's not bad for a V6, but compared to some of the other V6s or faster Turbo 4s, it just doesn't compete. So it's rated at 19 city and 28 highway. I got 23 combined with mixed driving, and the newest cars will give you over 30 on the highway. So it's lagging there. My dislike number 4 is it has a sport tuned suspension, but there's definitely still a fair amount of lean and roll going around some turns. It's more of a good mix of comfort and comfort and handling at the same time, but it's not very sporty when you're really pushing it around some turns. My dislike number 5, similar to number 4, is for being the GT and the sporty sedan, the steering is pretty darn loose. It's not the most dialed in. There's no way to adjust it. Even when you put it in S mode, it still stays the same no matter what mode you're in. I'd like to see the steering at least have an option to be a little bit more dialed in or a little bit more firm with the suspension that I said in number 4. Now, obviously, those are just my 5 likes and dislikes that I observed with 1 week. If you own the car, if you have driven this car or anything, or if you have any thoughts, just please let me know down below. If you haven't seen my full review, please be sure to check that out. I also have this review or a similar review on the Everyman Driver channel with Dave Erickson, so please be sure to check that out. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please think about subscribing down below, giving this video, not a movie, giving this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time.